Alright. So here is the red-eared slider turtle tank setup that I have put together over the years. Been meaning to do a video for a long time now. Yeah. Show kind of what I've put into the setup over the years. Got 2 turtles, 2 goldfish, 1 male, 1 female. And then the topper with the basking spot. So it's about 90 gallons, I want to say, if you include the water that is in the sump down beneath. It's closer to about 100 gallons. There you go. Focus here. Got a homemade filter. It's a trickle-down filter. So obviously we got a pump that pumps it up through a pipe out our output here, and then goes down the 2 drains that you see in the back there. The lettuce is getting stuck. Trickles down, and then we've got, you can't really see, it's kind of dark, but we've got some filter substance. It's a wet dry filter, so help with the bacteria. I use scrubbies. Beneficial bacteria builds up on that. We've got white vent filters. You see here, in the second layer, and then a black air conditioner foam type filter. On the side here, we've got a topper. Got it tied into a main water line. So it's got a float valve inside here. So that comes from the main line, hooks to a float valve. When that drops, you can hear it. So when that float valve drops, obviously it tops itself off. And here, then we've got a second float valve switch that keeps the level in the sump constant. So you can see it's kind of built up a hard water line because it's been so consistent. But the switch here, so I'll pull it out of the water, turns on and off, and then there's water pumped from our bucket into the main sump. So that keeps this level. So it's kind of overkill, but started off just having this without the main line filling it up, and I used to fill up the bucket about every week or so. In the summer, it'd be every 3 or 4 days, and in Arizona it evaporates pretty quickly, so that got old, which is why I tied it into the main water line so it tops itself off. And then obviously the sump stays topped off on its own pretty easily. Anyway, been pretty happy with this setup. Up here we've got our basking area. Got a temperature probe, so it's showing about 90 degrees right now, which is about as hot as I can keep it in the colder season. And then a temperature probe connected to an on-off switch for the basking light. So if it gets too hot, it'll turn it off. In the summer, that's used more when the garage gets really hot, to keep it at 95, around 95 degrees, between 90 and 95. So anyway, oh, thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. A little bit closer here. So I just used a like a filing cabinet that you can get from Walmart.
Oh, wow.
3-layer with the drawers. And the filter media goes in there. Pretty easy. About once a week I'll change out the filter in here. Once a month, do a partial water change, and then every couple months if it gets really dirty. Then I'll change more of the water. We've got all of our test strips. That's what I feed the fish and the turtles, along with romaine lettuce. And this stuff is really good. This is a recent discovery. Sea Chem keeps everything conditioned and balanced. Removes chlorine and gives us the beneficial bacteria kind of base to keep everything pretty well in balance and in check. So it's very minimum maintenance. And that's been trial and error over years that I've been able to figure all that out. A lot of YouTube videos, a lot of my brother also has a turtle tank, and we have discussed at great lengths kind of what we do for the turtles. Anyway, it's a lot of fun just to sit and kind of therapeutic to watch them swim around. These two goldfish are actually second generation goldfish. These two turtles I got from the female was from my mom. She she's a third grade teacher. She had a student in her class who got it as a gift. I guess the parents didn't really want it at home, so they gave it to the class as a classroom pet. That didn't really work out. I saw it and could tell that it was in hibernation mode, dying. It wasn't doing very good in the conditions they had set up, which we see a lot with turtles. So I took it, gave it a home, and then the other one had a buddy, similar situation, who had the turtle, and after 6 or 7 months didn't really want it, and so he gave it to me. We got them set up in the tank in the aquarium here, and they seem to be pretty happy. We've got our goldfish. Like I said, this is second generation. So the first generation I had they're about this size, maybe a little smaller. They're pretty big. You know, we bought them when they were like an inch, and now they're almost 4, probably. Uh-oh, what happened? You trying to knock that over? What? I gotta leave that. Oh, you want the brush? Okay, here you go. There you go. Anyway, so we had 2 goldfish in there, and one day when I was doing a partial water change, I had the water drain down to about a quarter. The turtles were still in there with the 2 goldfish, and they became turtle food. So I was pretty saddened by that. So my wife went out and bought me two more goldfish as a surprise. It was very kind of her. So anyway, these guys are probably going on 2 years. And they're growing pretty big. And they're big enough that the turtles leave them alone. They were fast enough in the first place that they couldn't get, well, they got, you see the turtle fin, or the fish fins on their tail. The white is where the fins have been nipped by the turtles and grown back. So anyway, there's kind of a good balance though now. Everyone's happy. Turtles stay away from the fish. Fish eat the leftover turtle food that they don't eat, as well as fish flakes that I feed them. Turtles bask pretty regularly up here. Everyone seems to be pretty happy. I do have a camera up there that I've got an app on my phone that I can check in on the turtles when I'm away, like at work or whatever.
Turtle.
And my son. Turtles, ah, look at the turtles. Look at the turtles. Yeah. Anyway, Raphael and Dot. She's got a little red dot on her forehead. A little bit more timid than he is. He's pretty bold. He'll stay on his basking rock when we come out, and she'll immediately jump in. In time, I'm going to have to figure out how to let her, a place for her to lay her clutch of eggs if she gets them, which I expect she will eventually. Oh, let's see here. Back here, it's hard to see. I've got a pretty good setup to keep the pipes quiet. And just drill just a cap. Drill a hole. You can see the difference with the pipe with the cap off. It gets pretty loud and gurgly. Put the cap on, just set it on, and I trial and error on the size of the holes. You just drill a hole until there's the right flow of air into the pipe to help quiet the gurgling. We've got two drain pipes that connect into one, and then going down in the center here into the sump, as we showed you before. Anyway. Figured it's good to get this documented while the tank is in good shape, because it's not always been in good shape, and who knows how it will be in the future. Hopefully it stays nice. I think I've got it pretty good self-sustaining setup right now. That's pretty easy to maintain, but again, it took years of trial and error. It's been about five or 6 years that I've had a turtle setup. So these turtles, I've had them for about 5 years. Anyway, until later.